Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another weekend market watch. Today is Sunday, December 29th. I hope you all had a lovely holidays. For those of you who do celebrate Christmas, I hope it was fun. I got a couple decent gifts myself. My girlfriend was nice enough to give me a new webcam. My old one broke, as most of you know, and I got a new webcam, so that's good. I have yet to set it up yet. I gotta go get an extension cord. It's a little short. It doesn't reach all the way over to my PC, but that is great. But anyways, let's talk about what we're all interested in, why you clicked on the video. That is the market for today. So remember to like and subscribe, all that stuff. Let's get right into it. So starting as always with the best-selling cards of the week. So Malice, White Rabbit, and Underground are staying pretty firmly where they're at 40 and 35. I do think these cards are a little bit undervalued. I think Malice gets any more support, like a second starter, a search spell, anything. These cards shoot up in value, so I'm actually personally holding mine. I actually did manage to pull a White Rabbit, an Underground. A White Rabbit I got from Prize Packs, an Underground I did buy a box, and then I also pulled a Sword, and the other day when I went to locals, I pulled a CR, I think it's Rizal Crossing is a field spell. So this Crossover Breakers is definitely not a bad set by any stretch of the imagination, but I think these cards are undervalued. I think that if we get any support, these are going to go up, so I would not be moving them if I were you. Not financial advice, just opinions. Fiendsmith the Engraver is cracking $100 again. Absolutely insane. Really, really surprising that it is going this far, but Fiendsmith is it's just a really good engine. It really is. If you can play it, you're playing it. I'm going to be going over some budget staples as well. I love covering budget staples, as you guys know, because I was a budget duelist for a long time, and now that I'm not, I try to make sure that everyone can be included in our favorite hobby. But yeah, Fiendsmith the Engraver, you're looking at $400 for the engine at minimum. Mulcharming Fulos has dropped below $100. I'm so surprised about that. I thought this card would be $150 until the reprint came out, but nope, the reprint was announced very early, so the price is dropping pretty dramatically. Ice, Ext, and Sword Riziel are all holding around $100, or not 100, $20. So you're looking at about $200 for the main portions of Riziel. Honestly, whether you're going Malice or Riziel, you're looking at $200. So if you really want to compete in the format and you've got some Christmas money and you don't have anything else to do with it, Riziel and Malice are not that big of an investment. So do with that what you will. Dominance Impulse has dropped to $55. A little surprising, not surprising though. It is not amazing into the current format with Malice and Riziel, but it is still an amazing card, so it'll probably hold a pretty price tag until it gets reprinted. Primate Lordly Load is cracked $35. I am so surprised at this. I did not at all think this is going to be a good deck. If you guys picked up Lordly Loads and other Primate stuff at $2 a copy, congratulations, you guys hit it big. Purlia is holding 60, down from 80, which is really nice. We're not looking at just insane prices for the Mulcharmies anymore. I mean, there's still a lot, don't get me wrong, but $80 for Purlia and $140 for Fulos was a bit much for most people. Deceptions is still holding 30. I would still recommend holding on to these with Supreme Darkness coming out. The new Azamina and White Forest stuff is going to be crazy. I've been saying it for a while, so don't get rid of these. You only really need one to play Azamina White Forest, so if you want to play the deck, you definitely can pick it up. Fiendsmith Tract is $25 right now. People are starting to play more Tract because it's just a better card than some of the other things you could play, I guess. But yeah, $25 for that. Dominus Purge is looking at 30 still. Lacrima's down below 20, which is good that it's down lower, but this card was $5 to $7 on release. So if you didn't pick them up now, like me, you're a little mad. We're mad. Lubellions are 20. LZs are up to 27 again. I think they were 20 last week. Let's go ahead and just pull this up and check. Yeah, they were down. They were down to about $20 last week. So if you picked them up then, congratulations. Like I keep saying, Azamina White Forest is a great deck coming out in Supreme Darkness, and you're going to need these cards for that. Chaos Angels are 35. Pretty impressive. I think this is just a really good card. It's definitely something you can make if you get interrupted. Yesterday at locals, I was playing against a Riziel Fiendsmith player, and I debarriered them when they had a Lacrima and an Engraver on the field, and they just made a Chaos Angel and just passed on that. So kind of interesting. Unicorns are 10, Thrusts are 7. On to the next page, we got Fenris for 15. Aggregators are still holding, or they're going up actually. They're about $7 right now. Pretty impressive. Terahertz is 10. Crimson Dragon is 15. Jerusalem's are 20. I would recommend getting rid of these honestly. I think it's not at all unlikely that Bystials are going to be in the next quarter century set, the last quarter century set, quarter century Stampede. I think Bystials are very much going to be in that set. Typhon's at 27. LZs, or Stellars, not LZs, are 15. Verrugus is 20. Packbit has gone up a lot. Gosh, I remember when this card was like $2. Yeah. I think this is just another good card to send for Ultimate Slayer, and you can also send it for Neo Tempest Terahertz. It has an effect to put a card your opponent controls in the face of spell trap zone. So without Snake Eyes running around, that's a pretty good dump. But yeah, that's $20 if you have some of these from Phantom Nightmare. They might be worth a little bit now. Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon. We're going to be covering the Red Eye stuff here in a little bit, but this is up to $10 now. This is an Ultra from the current core set. So, I think there might have been Red Eye support announced. I forget, but it's a $10 ultra rare. I mean, you might have like a couple of these just laying around in your bulk after opening packs. So go ahead and pick them up and just move them before poor people realize how easy this card is actually to get. Ulcanix is $10. Mseti's 20. The Ryugi Ultra Rare is $3. I still think this is an interesting deck. It's not very good, but it is something that's interesting. All right, so let's get into it. Into the specifics. So Live Twin got support announced, and Live Twin is, it's quite a fan favorite deck, and it got some pretty amazing support. So looking at this stuff, you're looking at $5 for a Kill. I believe this is because the Link 1 they got is just using a Kill monster. It can't use a Leela monster. So really amazing that this card is $5, and its counterpart that you still play the same number of is only $1. You're looking at about $2 for the Link 2s. Doesn't really matter which rarity you get, the Ultra from Genesis Impact or the Secret. I'd recommend picking up the Secret. It looks pretty nice. Other than that, you got Sunny Snitch, which is cheap, Channel, which is cheap. The only other card that's really worth talking about is obviously the Evil Twins, Kill, and Leela, which is used for Ultimate Slayer off of Trouble Sunny. And Trouble Sunny is almost nothing. You're looking at like 50 cents for a Trouble Sunny. So really the only thing you're looking at is if you open Genesis Impact, if you have bulk for Genesis Impact lying around, grab out your Kills and move them. They're $5 right now. They will not be cheaper because I think we are going to be getting alt arts of these. Even if we don't get alt arts, I could very much see us getting reprints of these in quarter century Stampede, since they are just super rares. There's a collector's rare obviously, but there's not a higher rarity. I want to cover Eldritch. Eldritch also is getting more support. These are all the tactical Tridecks. We're not covering Cyber Dragon because Cyber Dragon's not worth covering. But now, that's not to say that the support isn't good. I just don't know enough about Cyber Dragon. Eldritch, however, is really cheap. It's really cheap right now. Even the Lost Arts are a couple bucks. The only copies that you're going to be spending an amount of money on are the QCRs, the alt art and the original art. Technically, the OG from I believe it's Secret Slayers. Where is it? Yep, Secret Slayers is about $4. But I mean, you can get a Secret from Rarity Collection for Platinum Secret is 50 cents. Secret Rare is 20 cents. Yeah, so you're not hurting to get an Eldritch. Golden Land cards, kind of the same thing. I mean, Conquistador's $1.50, and it's $2 for the original Secret. Hakwera is $1, but it's really cheap. And it's the thing with Eldlixirs. These are almost nothing. You're looking at $3 if you want to get OG Secrets, but if you're fine with the gold rares, you can just get the Eldorado printings. So Eldritch is really cheap. The support is very good. They basically got a Phantom of Yubel type of extender, and we got a card that lets us continuously recur our resources from the Banished Zone, so we don't run out of them anymore. So Eldritch is an interesting deck. I know it's pretty bad considering Bystials still exist, and there's all those other different cards that make Eldritch pretty bad, but it's definitely a cheap deck that you can pick up. Red Eyes. I want to cover Red Eyes. Red Eyes has gotten bought the heck out. Basically, I don't know if there's Red Eyes support coming out, like I said, but there's a lot of Red Eyes buyouts. I think there's either hype for it or something. So I want to go over all the expensive cards that you might have. So Red Eyes Alternative Black Dragon here is a solo print from the Gold Sarcophagus tin of 2019, and you're looking at You're looking at around $3 for a printing of that. Red Eyes Baby Dragon is not a card I don't think gets very used in the Red Eyes deck. Maybe I'm wrong. But you're going to be looking at about $7 to $3. There is a speed dual printing that's $3, but the secret rare printings are quite expensive. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon a level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck. That's really good. And then if it's sent to the graveyard while equipped with, to a monster, you add a level 1 dragon monster from your deck to your hand. I guess it's not bad, but the fact that it has to be destroyed by battle and sent to graveyard means it's really its usage is limited. Red Eyes Black Full Metal Dragon, as we said, was about $2, and now it's climbed back up to $10. Obviously the QCR is more expensive, but this is an insane card. So Red Eyes Black Meteor Dragon is actually a $2 to $4 card depending on the printing. So that's definitely a card. If you pulled a bunch of Duelist Nexus or you opened your tins, you might have some of these lying around, and they're worth a couple bucks. Not a bad thing. Red Eyes Fang with Chain. This is a card that I saw and I was like, I'm surprised, but I guess I'm not surprised since it's only 2 printings. $12 for this card. It's not a bad card. I think it might be searchable. It can make you give your Red Eyes monsters 2 attacks, and then I guess it's an interruption. I don't know. It's a weird card, but that's $12. Red Eyes Slash Dragon, the only good fusion that Red Eyes has apart from Dragoon, is $20. Well, it's $18 to $16, so expensive for that. And that is it. So next we're going to cover out budget staples. So I love budget staples. I love talking about what you can do to play on a budget, and I got some here for you. So Nib, it's $3 a copy is your cheapest printing. But this actually $2 a copy if you get the ultra rare from Rarity Collection. So it's a cheap card. It is insane right now against almost every deck. It's good against Fiendsmith. It's good against Malice. It's good against Ryzeal. It's good against Ritual Beast. It's good against so much. It's insane right now. And this is a very cheap staple that you should probably be maining. If you want to play a more board breaker approach with Nibiru, Book of Eclipse is another great card. This will shut off things like the Caesar negate. It'll chase out a Desiree. It'll force a lot of interaction. The only thing this doesn't do much against is Malice, unless you go first and set it. It is ashable, which does kind of suck that your opponent can just waste an ash for a Book of Eclipse. But this is a pretty decent card. It's very, very cheap. You're looking at 25 cents for a printing of this. So not terrible. Ultimate Slayer. This card has been running amok, and it is so amazing right now. Ultimate Slayer send Mirror Logic Aggregator is great. Ultimate Slayer send Entis is great. There's so much you can even if you're playing a Fiendsmith deck, you can Ultimate Slayer send your own Desiree and then just use the Desiree to send something else. It's an insane card right now, and it's only about $2. So if you can afford this, and obviously the targets, there are other cheap targets that you can play. Not too many good ones necessarily, but there are a lot of good targets that you can play. If you can afford this, I would say this is a great pickup, especially for your side deck. I want to talk about Talons. Talons is the expensive card right now. It's about $10, but it's incredible right now because you can Talons just take control of your opponent's detonator, and they can't use it to pop anymore. You can use it to pop stuff. You can Talons to hand rip your opponent. I did that the other day. Instead of drawing 2, I just hand ripped my opponent. They were on Fiendsmith Ryzeal. I saw they had a Nibiru, a Purelia, and an Engraver in their hand, and I just ripped the Engraver out and was like, well, you better draw something. And they had to normal summon the Purelia and then make Moon. So Talons is an insane card. I think it's used too much just to draw because people are like, oh, draw 2. That's got to be the best effect. It's really not. But you're looking at about $10 of printing. So if you have these, I would definitely play them. If you don't have them, it might be worth the $30 to pick them up. This is a bit of a tech choice. So Allied Justice Cycle Reader. This is a 25-cent card from Hidden Arsenal, and there's other higher rarity printings that are only about $1. If you guys don't know what this is this is DD Crow for 2 light monsters. So DD Crow is probably good enough on its own. I'll say that. Abyss Deals are definitely good enough, but they're quite expensive. So if you want something that is a little bit more targeted towards the Fiendsmith deck, Allied Justice Cycle Reader is not bad. It can get let's say your opponent goes Moon for Requiem, for Lacrima, dump Engraver. You go cycle Reader, target Engraver and Lacrima, get it out of deck, or get it into the Banished. Most people are only on one Lacrima right now. That's great, but you also cut them off of the Engraver. In theory, this is really good. In practice, this is just a little too targeted for Fiendsmith. But the thing is, Fiendsmith is everywhere. So if you're playing against people who have it, I mean, this is not a bad card to pick up for it. Lastly, I want to talk about Sky Striker. Now, Sky Striker is a great engine as like board breakers. Engage is only about 50 cents right now, so if you're playing a spell heavy deck, Engage can definitely get you extra draws, and that can be extra hand traps. Extra hand traps can be extra interruptions. All that kind of stuff just to make you be able to win more games. But the important thing I want to cover right now is this card right here, Sky Striker Mecha Widow Anchor. This card is $10 a copy. The ultra rare for Magnificent Mavens, which was supposed to be like the cheap card, it was only like 50 cents for a long time. You can see like $1 to 50 cents. It is up to $10 right now. Luckily, you only really need one. I mean, if you want to play like a full Sky Striker package, you probably want to be playing like 3 Engage, at least one Widow Anchor. You have to play at least one Widow Anchor, but probably like 2 or 3. But the advantage of this is it's not only a negate, it's not only a Forbidden Chalice, but it also takes control if you have 3 spells in your graveyard. And taking control of an opponent's monster right now is really good. Being able to take control of your opponent's detonator, or take control of a Terahertz, it's really awesome. Obviously, it might chase out the Save Worm negate, but if it chases out a negate, it chases out a negate. That's the way I have to look at this. There's obviously other cards you can play, like Afterburners, Jamming Waves, Hornet Drones, if you want to do Sky Striker Link stuff. But that's the only thing I want to tell you guys is if you do want to pick up the Sky Striker engine, you're going to have to pay $10 a copy for Widow Anchor. If you guys open Magnificent Mavens, or you have like Widow Anchors just lying around, I would actually probably sell them. I think that Sky Strikers are pretty good for like reprints in Quarter Century Bonanza. We've had some QCRB Sky Striker stuff, but not all of the like good cards like Widow Anchor and Afterburners, Jamming Waves. So I think that it's probably not a bad idea to get rid of your Sky Striker stuff. I know there's new support coming out for it eventually, but I mean, $10 a Widow Anchor is $10 a Widow Anchor. But that is going to be it from me, guys. I hope you did enjoy. Have a good holiday. Have a happy new year, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.